All right, greetings. All right, so we are live. Let me make sure I can hear myself and all that good stuff. Let's see. Okay. Hey, love goddess. All right, so I do owe you a fairy read, so I will do your fairy read for you. And that's the only fairy read tonight. So we are going to discuss our topic, and then we're gonna do also a collective read alongside with the topic. And then we're gonna do a new reading for Venus Day, Venus on the Block. There are 9 options for the Venus on the Block reading. It's $22. So at the end of the discussion and the collective read, I'm gonna be doing the Venus on the Block read. So if you're interested, you guys can check out the description box for which one may resonate with you if you'd like to book one and how to book a Venus on the Block reading tonight on the live. Okay. Um, but yeah, so love goddess, if you are on the live, go ahead and leave your one question or topic. And then after that, we'll hop into the discussion tonight and our collective read. And then towards the end of the discussion and collective read, we're going to do our Venus on the Block reads, which are $22. Um, Readings for goddess, our Venus energies. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Breyonna, I was kind of confused with your I know you said you wanted 2 other readings, but I only received 1 payment, so I don't know. I'm not sure what you meant. Because I know you said you wanted reading number 2, I think it was, number 2, and then 9. But yeah, if you guys are interested, go ahead and check that out. It's very fun readings, but very informative. Healing for the inner self, the inner goddess. And you do not have to be a woman, obviously, if you want to tap into your Venus energy or just your sacred healing, the topics that sent out to you, you're more than welcome. It's not just for the ladies, okay? So just put that out there. So I'm gonna wait on Love Goddess, and then we'll hop into our live discussion. But hey, ladies, hey, everybody. Make sure y'all like the video, share it with someone you feel like may benefit or resonate. Why is it hot? It's so hot. Like, child, I've been sweating. I don't know. It is hot today. Like, the weather is playing, okay? Or it ain't playing. It ain't playing with none of us. It ain't sparing us out here. Oh, let's see. Um, can you double check for me? Because I seen at 5:25, I seen one, but just double check. Never mind. Oh, I see. Wait, no. Actually, that was yesterday. Or is it today? Did you send it today at 1:30? Yeah, you sent it today at 1:30. Okay, I see. Never mind. My bad, sis. I got you. I see. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, it says today. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see. All right. My bad. My bad, girl. Okay. You have to forgive me sometimes. I'm a little slow. I was a little slow, okay? I got to double check shit sometimes. All right. Yes, no, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy these new installments. I'm trying to do different things, like, you know, um, things to make the channel still, fun, but like tap into things that matter, like keep it light, not too heavy, like a good balance. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to overwhelm people with too much heavy shit. And people don't want to talk about love all the time or love in a specific manner. So I did a poll on like where people are within healthy relationships, whether they're actively in a healthy relationships or not, or seeking them, actively healing within a relationship, or um never been in a healthy relationship. So I did do a poll, and based off of the results, I am going to start focusing on, love readings around, the demographic of people. Keep certain things in mind. You know what I mean? Consider where everyone is on their journey, if that makes sense. you know so that's why I asked that question as to like where people are with healthy relationships. Are they in healthy relationships? Have they ever been one? Are they seeking to be in a you know what I mean? Like, I want to see where people are, because the dating pool is shit. To an extent, it really is. And I talked about this briefly on the other live one night about the spiritual community, how I, just noticing as a woman myself and friends, the discussions that we have and the choice and decisions that we're making to be more sovereign in our dating decisions and choices and our healing and focusing on ourselves and decentering love in a healthy way. Like, it's nothing wrong with wanting love, but we're kind of not totally decentering love relationships or partners or men or whatever, but in a healthy way, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's why I asked the question. I don't know where Love Goddess is, child, because I feel like we might need to just get into the read. No, because I did promise her the next Ghetto Fairy that I would do hers, because I skipped her in the last one. But if she's not active, I'm gonna have to just go ahead and get started with the message. We're going to just get started. Okay. All right. So this is going to be our topic for tonight. We are talking about why our manifestations or spell works and things like that may not be working. Okay. And one of the things I feel like that goes unchecked or unnoticed a lot of time is where we're at within our intentions, where we're at within our vibration, which is why, like, oftentimes I'll stress the fact, like, when we do our Ghetto Fairy lives, and I usually share like the ritual for the week that goes along with the topic that we're talking about, I always mention that it is about your energy and your intentions, and you want to create a space for you to like be focused to do your spiritual work, and so on and so forth. There's so many other layers to this, because I do also talk about utilizing the four elements on top of your energy. So like, um you as a physical being, as a spiritual being, and working with the divine universe and or your divine sources, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, most importantly, source creator, incorporating that into your magic, or if you resonate with the concept of God being the universal power, however you resonate with that within your magic, to incorporate all those elements, all those components with your magic. Your tools are an extension of your magic. They do need to be charged. They do have their own vibrational energy and power, like herbs and spices. If you're using fresh flowers, if you're using food, honey, milk, coconut water, whatever your modality is, if you're using tobacco, if you're using spirits like alcohol spirits, if you're using shells, if you're using coins, dollars, feathers, they have a vibrational energy, yes, but you have to charge the energy. So we'll get into all of that. I don't want to jump all over the place and shiznit, but we're gonna get into it. So the biggest thing is that we cannot manifest from a closed energy or fragmented energy or space. We have to, and mind you though, because this is kind of like where you have to use like your own wisdom with this, because you are the power, you are the magician, you charge the energy. So like, if you're doing because sometimes like the most powerful spells is when you are um anxious. Like, I feel like the most powerful magic that I've ever done might have been in a period or a space where I was really in despair and just didn't know what to do. And the only thing that I could lean to was prayer, and or asking my guides to like, okay, what prayer to work with, what candle to light, what do I need to do, and like make some shit happen. It's not always going to be in this pretty perfect package or kit. Sometimes it's like what you just have at your disposal, um and using your imagination, being guided to certain things. Like, okay, if I need to protect myself, I feel like the first thing that I've ever done, I had this girl that was like messing with me like years a year ago. This was before I even knew like what the fuck I was doing magic wise. This was years ago. It's probably like 10 years ago or so. I didn't know what to do. And I've never heard of a freezer spell in my life, but for some reason I was guided to do that. I wrote the girl's name down, the girl that was fucking with me. I wrote her name down and I put it in a freezer with like I filled up a Ziploc bag full of water, and I put her name in that bag, and I put it in the back of the freezer and forgot about it. And the bitch left me alone for a while. Um it wasn't like she was like being um malicious, but her energy was chaotic in a sense. It was obsessive. Very obsessive, very attached, um, not balanced. So I had to do like a protective shield of boundaries, like to like calm the bitch down basically out of my field. And that was the first time I ever learned like spiritual protection in that sense outside of prayer, or calling on God, or at the time, pleading the blood of Jesus as I was taught growing up. So um sometimes it is when you're just like, what the fuck, like, that's where your magic is most potent sometimes. Or when you're crying, your tears are very powerful. Your anger and your rage, in a sense of, I would say, like, not anger and rage that is, how do I explain it? Like, let's say somebody is like really messing with you, or like messing with your kids, or something crazy like that. Um, something that is antagonizing you, bullying, things like that, where you just like crack and you're just like, I can't, that's powerful energy too when you're at that space. Um, I don't know if I should share this. I don't know if I should share this because I don't want to give away my magic, but I'll just say that your rage and your anger is definitely a powerful. It's almost like Kalima energy being activated, or like, oh yeah, like some sort of holy rage that comes out that's very protective, or like segment energy, very powerful. So you don't always have to be in this loving light, hum nam yo horenge kyo wusa wusa. It don't gotta be like that all the time. Sometimes it is when you're at your wit's end with something, and that's where maybe your power is like, no, it clicks on, but different energies for different type of situations. So it's not really that your magic is not working. It's sometimes that your channel just is blocked, maybe by pain that you haven't faced yet. So like, as I always say, magic is an intention. It's all about your intention. And I forgive me if I've been vague in the past with what I mean by that. We'll go into it a little bit further tonight. So your intention is all about your belief, your clarity, and your will, right? So your belief in a thing, or your trusting or knowing, or your faith, your clarity, and your will. Okay. So I mentioned the magician card a lot when I talk about like the magician in the tarot. I've mentioned him a lot because I feel like it's a perfect depiction of how to tap into magic in a sense. So like, where you're using all elements. Yeah. So hey, love goddess. Yeah, I might save if you stay to the end, because I waited a little bit for you, but I already got into the discussion. So if you can wait at the end of the live discussion and collective reading before I get into the Venus on the block reads, I'll do it. Or if you don't mind waiting next week. But yeah, you gotta be on when I'm on. You gotta be like right on before we get into the topic. But yeah, so he, with the magician card, he works with, I would say, let's say 5 elements, because he, as the fifth element, he's the most powerful conduit, as far as wielding in his manifestations through his divine spirit power, right? He's that major fifth element. So all the 4 elements represent like the earth, air, fire, and water, right? Where I usually say earth can represent like the tools that you use. So let's say, for instance, it's like things of the earth, like herbs, spices, foods, like I said, things like that. The fire being maybe a candle. It could even be your creativity, um, your focus, your intent. The air can represent like you using something with like communication. So your words, your affirmations, your mantras, your chants, your prayers. It could be a Bible. It could be you journaling, scripting, writing, affirming, decreeing. Um, okay, that's fine. I got you. Yeah. Whatever, like whatever lands, whatever works. Yeah. Um, yeah, so that's the air. Um, let's say like the water represents your emotions, your again, your intent, your feelings, your emotions, where you're at, your imagination. Like where's your heart at with what you're doing? So maybe even like you using water as an actual literal element, you using um water in your magic, or using, let's say, like an altar water, or using a spirit or vodka or whiskey or tequila for your magic. That could be water as well. um let's say with air, going back to air, you're using feathers, or you're using smoke or incense. That can also kind of tie into fire as well. um so it's really like magic again, it's up for a personal interpretation and kind of like your creativity as well. Honoring, I feel like all elements. Some of us are stronger in certain areas. Some of us are really good at candle magic. Some of us are really good with affirmations and scripting and writing and prayer warriors, you know. Um, some may be really good with intuitive work or working with water. Um, Everybody has something that they're more, maybe more skilled or more gifted in, but that doesn't mean that you can't tap into multiple things, if that makes sense. So instead of doing a ritual tonight, this live is just going to be more so of like a reflection, like just go within, and kind of initiate you into the next level of your spiritual work, hopefully, right? That hopefully that's what this will help you guys with, or like your manifestations or our manifestation, because I'm learning as I go, trial and error, learning from other people, um, being a student as well as a teacher. Like I feel like that always helps. And like certain things people might do, like, oh shit, I've never thought about that. Like that's really cool. Another thing too, before it slips my mind, sigils can also be tied into air magic, or yeah, air energy. The essence of Mercury, communication. Um, what else? Yeah, so hopefully this will help you. Like, we'll get into it. We'll do our collective read, kind of like tap into the energy, see where we're at as a collective, where we can resonate in our own unique way of, where our blockages might lie. So, whether you're calling in love, your heart may still be in a place of survival, right? Or if you're trying to tap into abundance, but your nervous system doesn't really feel safe with receiving, or you're visualizing and you're focusing on healing, but you're still punishing yourself for something, right? So that could be a block. Um, so yeah, so in our reading, we're just going to do an energy read of what part of you is calling in your magic, and what part of you is afraid of maybe what your magic might bring, or what your spiritual blockages around that. So um let's talk about love manifestation before we get into the reading, because I feel like this is very relatable, and I'll share a little bit like of where I feel like my blocks can be with love. Um I don't encourage people to try to manifest people against their will. That's not something that um not a whole lot of money by Bia plan. You can't hear it because I have it turned down. I'm not trying to get a copyright strike. Um, so let's say for instance, like for people that like to do that type of shit, that could definitely be a block. I feel like this is not a one size fit all type of situation, so you just have to use your discernment. But let's say you're trying to manifest a sacred partner, a man or a woman, someone that is like a safe space for you, someone that's a protector, so on and so forth. But underneath that, you may still be carrying like some trauma from a past relationship with a man or woman, disrespect, rejection, maybe invincibility, pain, or feeling like you've been overlooked. Um, so for me personally, I had came to this, like this clicked with me, and I had to be so real with myself and be just transparent because I feel like it might help someone else. Um, as a Black woman, a woman of color, but mainly as a Black woman, when it comes to love, sometimes, um, especially when it comes to the world saying that Black women are just so undesirable, we're unattractive. The darker we are, the more unattractive, or we can't afford to have kinky hair. We can't, we have to have a certain aesthetic or look in order to even be remotely accepted. And then it doesn't help when you hear from the men in your own community saying that, oh, I don't like Black women. They're too much of this. They're too less of that. They need to do this. They need to be humbled. And then you see like the unsupport of some Black women, even in their pain. And it kind of like, I had to be real honest with myself. I, I'm still working through this. I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm so healed past it. But, uh, I don't necessarily feel safe with Black men that I don't know, or even to like trust that I'll be loved fully by one without it being some sort of colorism issue. And one of my friends, she made a good point because I shared this with her, and she was like, well, you have to consider the fact that we've all been conditioned by colorism, conditioned by texturism, been um, all of the isms that we can have, and the whole world really has been conditioned under the white supremacist beauty standard. Whether you've fallen into that or not, or you subconsciously fall into it, you have to understand the conditioning. And it's not just my and our generation. It's this goes way back. The conditioning goes way back than what we can remember, and that's what keeps the trauma alive. And she said to think that is possible, like what if your person kind of does have colorisms, like coloristic type of beauty standards or preferences or ideologies, but if they're your person, what if they're actively working to like heal that, as you're actively working to heal through the pain of that or the discomfort of that? And I was like, that's a good point. That's a possibility. Like, nobody's completely perfect. Like, we've all been conditioned by something, especially just as humans with beauty standards in general, in some kind of way, whether it's fat phobia, whether it's European beauty standards, living up to that, or um, hating your broad nose, or your lips are too big, your butt is too big or it's too small, or this or that, right? Um, Everyone gets conditioned by something when it comes to that. So to just write every Black man off, yeah, like, and that's not what I was saying, but it's kind of like that fear and that resistance around love, and that fear of resistance of feeling safe with a Black man and feeling like I could truly be loved by one. Like, that's something that I have to be honest that I'm healing through, and could be a lot of the resistance I have in love, honestly. So if you're saying, oh, I want this good person, I want this, you know, if my person is even a Black man, who knows? It might not be, but that's still a block, emotional block there of connectiveness and receptivity. So if you're wanting to manifest love there, and you still have some sort of resistance or block where love can kind of come through your body as a danger, or associated with danger or distrust, or you feel like you can't receive the very thing that you want because you're scared that it will hurt you subconsciously, right? Or you might have a belief of, still, whatever the belief is, it is kind of, it can be a block. And not saying that you have to be perfect to manifest love. If you're going to manifest love, your heart has to be in the right posture that to believe that you even deserve it or that you can receive it. And sometimes God will send you someone that will knock that wall down that you put up, that resistance enough. So it's all about just like vibrational alignment. But yeah, um, sometimes the block around certain manifestations could be rejection from divine spirit, like it's not for you, or your ancestors, you're asking for something that is not fit for your highest good and or others, so in other words, it's divine protection. Your intentions may not be right, or you're trying to work against someone's free will or something, going back to the whole love spell thing, like I want this man or this woman. I'm trying to, and it might work for some people, but from my take on that, I don't feel like that is healthy. It's not a it's not sovereign to me to do that. It's almost like you're saying I have to manipulate somebody to want to be with me or to like me. And I wanted to do this discussion with a friend, but I don't know, that heifer just, I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know. She in her own little world. But we were talking about the whole like SP thing, the whole specific person thing and manifesting them, because I came across this post and I sent it to her. I'm like, bitch, like what the fuck is this? Like, these people sound hella delusional in the comments. And the person that made the post is like encouraging it, like, oh, just because you stop seeing the manifestations doesn't mean it's not happening. And mind you, it can happen. There's been so many times I didn't subconsciously manifested people that I wanted and had crushes on. And it just, I mean, okay, like, okay, you're powerful enough to manifest. But if it's not in alignment and it's not for you, it's not going to work. It's not going to stick. And I've met this woman. I share this story all the time because it's like real life shit. This woman that I bumped into at a Botanica, and me and my cousin were getting stuff for ourselves, and we were at the counter next to her, and she had this spider webcam or the spider candle. And we asked her, "What the fuck is that? Like, why? What is that? What you doing with that?" I kind of had a feeling like something about it was just a little weird. So I'm like, "What you got that for, sis?" And she was like, "It's to keep my man, keep him to love me," because she didn't speak English well. So she was like, "It's basically to keep her man like, I'm just," and I'm thinking he probably dusty as shit while you over here doing all this. If you gotta keep doing spell work to keep a ninja, like, or whatever, that's desperate energy to me. I'm sorry. And if anybody has ever done a love spell to keep somebody, like, I'm not trying to shame anyone, but I'm like trying to shed light. Like, that's not a healthy energy to be in. To try to like wield somebody else, like try to, because the SP thing, like some of these content, like this one, the one that I seen, the post that I saw, the lady was basically saying, "This is your world, this is your reality. You can have whatever the fuck you want, even if it goes against." Because the other person's, basically what she said was that the other person's will does not exist. And I'm like, that's so selfish, and that's not love to me. That is selfishness. That's not rooted in real love. If you have to do that and you say, "Oh, fuck his or her free will, I want what I want and I want them," that's weird as fuck. That's scary as fuck. You're just, you're crazy. And yeah, they have quote unquote success stories and stuff like that. But if you got to keep tapping into this realm of, "Oh, I'm just gonna, oh, he doesn't like me anymore. He stopped calling me. Well, let me, visualize a conversation coming in or contact coming in." Like, if you got to keep doing that, like, you, something is wrong with you. Why don't you want a ninja, a woman that wants you? Like, what's wrong with you that you can't like wrap around your mind that you're deserving of somebody that wants you, where you don't got to do all of that shit? And this one girl that I work with at a spiritual shop, she said something that was so profound, because she had people coming in and out of the shop, like young girls. She said girls as young as in high school, because they didn't watch some TikTok video that taught them how to get their crush or manifest their crush or make their crush want them, or a boy or boyfriend do X, Y, and Z. And they were going there trying to buy love candles and shit. And she told them, rather than you doing this, why don't you manifest yourself into love? Why don't you manifest being the lovable person that you desire? Like, what do you want within yourself to manifest? Start there, because some of, like, these dusty, wet behind the ear little boys, they don't want nothing. They don't know nothing. Some of them. They don't know what they doing in love. They don't know nothing about love. You don't know nothing about love. And you over here trying to manifest them because some TikTok bitch told you, get you a pink candle and say his name X amount of times and put it under your shoe and shit. Like, bitch, like, what kind of crazy shit is that? Like, that's very irresponsible. That's very irresponsible and that's very scary. So that's part of the reason why sometimes some of these motherfucking spells ain't working because it's working against someone else's will. And if you're anything of the sort, like a person that I would say you would probably know better. If you had this understanding, you would know better. If not, maybe you'll come to learn, or maybe it's not something you care about. But people that work with their ancestors know better than to just be with just anybody. It comes down to bloodline. It comes down to what works in the highest well-being of your future generations, because you don't want to repeat generational traumas on your kids, on your grandkids. You don't want to repeat that in your bloodline. So why would you get with a dusty that's a cheater, or somebody that you have to coerce to be with you, or manipulate into loving you or being with you, or y'all paths or destinies just don't match? It's not an alignment with you. But because your ego thinks that this is the best that I can have, this is the best that I could do, or this is the right one, when maybe it may not be. The person may not be a bad person. They may not be low vibrational, or they just may not be your person, you know? So if you care about your destiny and your path, you would know, because getting with the wrong person, if y'all ain't watching social media and the news, these women that get in these relationships and these men that get in these relationships with people that are not for them, in spite of all the red flags, in spite of all the drama and the trauma, they get with them. And unfortunately, it leads to bad situations, if not them losing their lives. And that's why I stress a lot all the time, like, women, most definitely, we have to have better self-love and self-worth. Like, some of these men ain't even, when I really look back and I sit and think, like, crying over this dude, like, for what? Some of these men ain't even worth the tears. They like I seen a meme earlier today. She said, if you don't know how to survive during the apocalypse, I don't want to be with you. Like, some of these men don't know how to change tires. Some of these men don't know how to fix a toilet. Okay. They know how to put that shit on. They know how to, you know, whatever, things that don't matter at the end of the day. They're not good stewards of their own lives. They're unhealthy in so many ways. Like, these men out here that some of these women is crying over, they ain't worth the shit. They ain't worth nothing to be crying over. Like, if you really look at it from a spiritual perspective, like, what the fuck am I crying over? Like, what can he do for me, spiritually speaking? Even the women that's talking about get you a man with money. Oh, at least he got money. Some of them are the most broken spirited, most broke in the soul, broke in the mind people ever. Like, they cannot do a damn thing for you above paying your bills, taking you on fancy trips. Like, they're just robotic. They're not there. They're soulless. They have nothing to offer you. Or they're so broken, or they're so wounded, or they have such a prideful ego, strong exterior, that you can't love them and they can't love you. So it's like, priorities. Like, you got to think about the long term. Everything has a price, everything has a consequence to it. So, like, being in certain relationships in the past, like certain choices and decisions I made, looking back, I'm like, bitch, what the fuck was you crying over? Like, it's laughable. Like, there's nothing that you should be crying about. If he can't change a tire, if he can't protect or defend you without a weapon, sis, save your tears. If he can't be a good man past so-called just loving you, and he can't respect other women that don't look like his preference or his type, and he just treats them like dust on the street, doesn't hold a door open for him, doesn't have any courtesy or common decency, what the fuck do you want with him? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I guess it comes down to, like, your priorities. Again, I only speak for myself. I can't speak for the demographic and wholeness of every woman. But for me personally, I don't respect men that just don't respect women, just because they can't give them something, or they don't look good to them, or or they think, oh, she's she's dirty, she's a prostitute, so I can't treat her like a common, like if somebody was on the street about to like, put her in danger, if I was around to see that and you just turn your head and say, "Oh, it's because she's a prostitute, look what she has on, that's what she gets." Like, I can't be with you. Like, something's wrong with you. Like, you're a little kid or something, like you're sick. Like, I don't even think a little child would look at somebody in danger and be like, "Oh, because look at what she's wearing." Maybe the kids nowadays is watching red pill content, maybe, but I can't respect you. I can't respect that. I can't respect a man that can't take care of himself or doesn't care to take care of himself on a internal level. That's not trying to better himself as a person on the inside. Not just focusing, "Oh, I got to get money. I got to look good. I got to do this, do that." Like, that's cool and everything. Take care of yourself. But if you're not taking care of your mental or your emotional self, you don't have any type of connection to spirit other than just talking about spiritual topics like, "Oh, yeah, the sun shines over here and Hotep this and chakra this, and we got to get back to the, all." If you don't have, like, you don't have a real relationship with spirit, you're not disciplined, you're just not the man for me. You're not purpose driven. You just caught up in bullshit and drama. You sleeping with every woman that you come across, or you just so thirsty for women. Like, that is not attractive to me. That just screams a little boy and broken. That's all that screams to me. So these men that we be crying over, like, why didn't he text me? Why didn't he call me? Probably somewhere scratching his balls, ain't took a shower in 3 days. Why are you crying over him? Why? You over here scrolling, looking at women on Instagram, on OnlyFans, like, ain't trying to figure out a plan for his life, or all he does is just walk around and look good, but his insides are all fucked up. His mind is fucked up. So I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't. And I know I'm making somebody upset because my face is hot. So I know somebody's really mad at me, but um, you got to face yourself, boo. You got to do the work. It's a constant thing to, as a woman, I'll speak for us when I say it is not always about doing the work in a sense of, I got to grind to be this, I got to grind to be a better woman. Sometimes it's remembering what it is to really be sovereign as a goddess energy. Goddess energy is receptive. She is an energy that is knowing of self, or is unlearning the things that told her what she was not and who she needed to be, that's not in alignment with who she is or who they are. All you guys to do is remember who you are. Sometimes it takes that goddess energy being reflected back to you in someone around you, speaking that back into you, because we bumped our heads somewhere along the line and we forgot who the fuck we be. As a goddess child, you are not to step down and lower yourself for any, like, you're not. They rise to the occasion for you. And if you not a real man, that's going to bother you because you want a woman to make it easy for you, and that's not going to happen. One or two things is going to happen. She's going to activate you just by being her, just by being in your life, being present. It's going to activate you. Or if she doesn't know herself enough or doesn't love herself enough, she'll step down to her throne and try to pick you back up. And, no. Everybody has to remember who they are. Yes, sometimes it takes activation. Oftentimes it takes activation. So if you over here trying to manifest somebody, and I hate to call you out like that, it's not like I'm not trying to come at people. I'm just saying, because we all been there, wanting somebody that wasn't for us, whether we try to manifest them consciously or subconsciously, or did spell work or prayed about it, or thought that you could, lower yourself to be seen by this person. All of that has the same type of frequency of energy of desperation and not knowing your worth, regardless of however it's packaged or formed or walked in. That's the vibration that it gives. So when you love yourself more and you genuinely want something that's healthy and something that is definitely aligned with you, that's healthy, that hold a healthy space for you, your whole vision of the type of person that you want will shift. Some shit is going to turn you off. You might still have empathy for certain people. And then, if, like I say all the time, like, if you have the ability to see people's potential, you'll you'll sometimes sacrifice what you know to be good for you. Or you'll tell yourself like, oh, maybe this person will one day be this, or I could see them being this, I could see us being this. But you're working against your whole inner knowing, of who you are and what you are when you do that. It's okay to hold space and have compassion because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect in this life, but there's a difference between potential and becoming. A person that's potential is just an idea of something, whereas becoming is an active walk towards change or evolution and growing. If somebody's still doing the same old dusty shit, they're not treating you any different or any better. They're still doing the same old thing, or they're keeping you in cycles and loops with them because they can trick you into thinking, oh, I've changed, I come back, I'm doing this, but then they fall back doing the same thing. That's not somebody that's actively changed. That's somebody that just, you know, played a little game, to a little glamour game with you to project that they've changed or that they're growing or that they're going to do better, but they still fall into the same thing. It's all about the person's mindset. That will never lie. A person's mindset will reveal everything about what's on the inside of them. So manifestation work or spell work when it comes to love, it has to start with a healthy place within you. It has to. If you want that fairy tale, it's not to say that it's impossible. Like I say this all the time too. Like if we believe that it's normal for men to cheat or all women are like this or that, why can't we believe, if we could believe that bullshit, why can't we believe that healthy love exists and you can be loved genuinely for you? I don't know why humans believe that, unless we just believe that this is hell, I guess, and that everything that is bad, that's all we meant to have. Like, that's the only way to make logical sense of people saying, oh, fairy tales don't exist. A good man or good woman doesn't exist. That's basically what you're saying. So when you settle with people that are not for you, basically saying that you believe that you deserve less than that. And that's all that you can get. Because I done been there. Like, I laugh at myself sometimes thinking about like the connections where I've allowed people to play in my face, knowing that they were playing in my face. Like I think about that and I laugh. I'm like, girl, like what was you like? What was you on? What was you drinking? What was you smoking? Like, what kind of weed was that? What did they put in that shit? Bug spray? Like, no, no. So yeah, I know I lost some people because love is a topic. It's such a big topic of people's healing and their detriment because they don't want to hear it. I just don't like. This is one of the things I get so passionate about because I'm like, it sucks to hear because some people know they ain't dealing with no good people, and some people know better, and they're just like, well, it's better than being single, it's better than being lonely, or I can't go without dick, or I can't go without, the P where I can't go without, I got to have somebody. If you always got to have somebody, it's something. I feel like personally, when people just have to have a man or have to have a woman, they don't know how to be by themselves, or they have to have sex all the time. It's escapism from yourself. You're escaping you. So you're not going to manifest anything different in love as long as you're running from you. That's another thing. Because you're going to keep meeting mirrors of your trauma and your pain. You're not going to meet a man or woman that, quote unquote, what you think you want, because you think you want the dusty, you think you want the low grade woman, but that's more so what your trauma is used to. It's not really what you want. You want something that's real, right? You want somebody that loves you. You want somebody to show up. So you settle for what's not because it's comfortable, because a part of you is afraid to face you. Because in order to be in a real, healthy, loving relationship, it will always require you to look at yourself. It's going to require you to work through the resistance that you have within you. Because when you face real love, it's going to challenge your vulnerability. It's going to call you to open up. It's going to call you to face your fears. It's going to call you to say, I accept that I am lovable. I accept that I'm desirable. I accept that somebody actually could love me, and in spite of everything that I've been through, in spite of maybe how I see myself sometimes, that real love can exist and it shows up. And when it does, you may not know what to do with it. So being with the low grade men and low grade women, it's comfortable to the trauma, but it's uncomfortable at the same time to the soul. You'll always have that discomfort that something ain't right. This is not for me. This is not my person. But as long as you override that and you're avoiding yourself, because you're going to meet a mirror of you. A person that's emotionally unavailable to you, cannot love you, cannot show up for you, is because they're reflecting the you within yourself that is emotionally unavailable for yourself. That's the power of vibrational energy. That's just what it is. Um, so abundance manifestation. Let's get into that. This is another one that's touchy too. Abundance magic or money manifestation or magic. So when you're doing money spells, you might be doing the affirmations, I'm abundant, I'm blessed, I'm this or that, or you have the vision boards, but deep down you believe that, let's say for instance, some of people, might believe that money is corrupt, or that you'll lose it, or that it's not for people like you, or you feel like you're lying to yourself when you say I'm abundant, I'm blessed, because let's say maybe you're in a fucked up situation right now. You don't see the money coming in, or you're living paycheck to paycheck, or you grew up in a household where money was kind of scarce, or you were taught that you can't have that right now. You're gonna have to wait till I get some more money, or we can't afford that. Um, like different stuff like that. You got the, what was it? My sister said it's funny because it's a saying. You got McDonald's money. You got money to do this, or um, Christmas is about to come up, or your birthday is about to come up. I can't do that, or your brother and sister's birthday is about to come up. I can't spare no more money, and that might register in your subconscious sometimes, that when you get money, when you get large sums of money, you either operate in multiple ways. Let's say like three ways. Let's say some people, when they get like the big lump sums of money, they'll usually put it away and save it. Some people might be afraid to spend it because they don't want to lose it, right? And then there's those that's like, I'm gonna buy every motherfucking thing under the sun. I'm gonna buy the cars, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that, I'm gonna get my nails, my hair done, I'm gonna get whatever, instead of the things that you need to do or need to get done. So your relationship with money also plays a big role in prosperity, work, magic, money magic, all that, abundance. So what is the belief that's still shaping your frequency in that sense? Or with any spell? That's the question to ask. Like, what belief is shaping my frequency in any of these magic works? So what version of yourself do you actually think is worthy of wealth? Or do you not think you're worthy? Or you feel like, oh, well, I'll be worthy when I get to this place in my life, or once I look the part, then it'll start like what, because sometimes this is subconscious. We might not even know like what's really blocking flow in my life. Because sometimes it really is like what version of myself believes that. So like going back to love, if you believe in your mind that there has to be a version of yourself that will manifest love, like until I'm this type of man or woman, or until my body is snatched, or until I've went to school and completed all my degrees, then true love will come. Like, because that could be a block. What if love was supposed to come before that? Or what if love is an alignment right now and you saying, not yet, spirit, because and it's okay to be real with yourself and say, I'm not really at the place where I want to be. Like, there will be times where you don't have time for love. Like you're not in the space for it. You got too much going on. You don't want to be unfair and bring somebody into your life. But who's to say that it won't be a blessing or something? You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you telling yourself subconsciously? Until then, I'm not going to have this, or I'm not going to be where I want to be, or I can't experience this until this. Like, it could be a block. That thought process could be a block. Um, do you really feel safe with receiving more than what you've ever had? Whether that be love, whether that be abundance, whether that be visibility, whether that be health and wellness. Do you feel safe with that? Because sometimes if you really ask yourself that, you'll know that you're not ready when you feel resistance, like when it feels like an ick. And that is like a key thing. Like your body, your nervous system is telling you, no, I'm not in the space to receive. If you cringe at the thought of being loved by somebody, or the cringe at the thought of you owning your own company and being successful, or whatever it might be, or that the fact that the doctor might tell you that, hey, we were able to, cure this, or we're finding treatments that will help you, and you cringe and say, oh, that's unrealistic. You know, that's a good question to ask yourself. Like, do I feel safe with receiving more than I have before, even if I've never experienced it? Because our mind sometimes will trick us into believing that, and this is where faith comes in. It's like, if I haven't seen it ever before, or I've never experienced it for myself personally, then how can it be real? And the ego will tell you that, to question that, like, okay, well, how can you be asking for this when you've never seen a healthy relationship in your life, or you've never been in one, or you've never touched this amount of money ever in your life, you know? But just because you haven't seen it yet doesn't mean that the vibration doesn't exist. It wouldn't be a thing in your mind if it wasn't something that you can manifest. Now, again, I always want to say, like, be open to what the universe can do, because it can exceed your biggest imagination. Like, yeah, you might be able to manifest that guy that you have a crush on, whatever, that woman, or that car. But what if there's something better for you later down the line? You might be thinking too small. You might be asking for a car that later you might want something that's a little newer, or a different style, or you know what I mean, like, of something. Or you might think that this is the job of my dreams, but what if you're still figuring out what your purpose is, and spirit is saying, okay, let's take the template of what you want, and as long as you're open and say, okay, this is my request, but I'm trusting that my highest self knows what's best. The universe, divine source, God will bring to me the best of that. It's almost like you have these ingredients in your house, and you're saying, okay, with this, I probably can make spaghetti out of that, because I got this right here and I got this right here. And then give it to a chef, like a chef show up and say, oh, you got this in your kitchen? Okay, you want Italian, huh? You want Italian? Is that what you want? Okay, I got you. They might make something else that you ain't never tried before. It may not be spaghetti. It might be something that overexceeds your expectations. But if you're just stuck in saying, well, this is all I see in my kitchen, so this must be the only thing, I'm hungry, this is why I want to eat. Kind of craving Italian, but I don't know. Um, you have to be open, you know? So reframe your mind for manifestation. Manifestation isn't about tricking the universe, or tricking God, or your spiritual team. It's about becoming the clearest, safest, and most aligned channel for what you desire, in the best of your ability. Because again, it's not about perfection. It's not. It's about clarity and intent and will. That's it. So what spells or manifestation have you been casting from a wounded space? Like, sit with that. Y'all can write this shit down, come back to it later. Might be a journal prompt for you. What would shift if you align your desire with a a deep self-trust? I would say healing, but sometimes we get healing misconstrued, because sometimes we'll say, oh, I thought I healed this, just because you had a trigger or something like that. You'll go, oh, you'll get frustrated. Oh, I thought I healed that. I thought I surpassed that. So we're not going to say healing. Let's say, like, what is the, like, what would shift if you align with your desire from a deep place of self-trust? Like, what would shift for you? Because if I say healing again, if I say healing, that's gonna be like, well, I'm still not this, I'm still not here, I'm still getting triggered, I'm still no. So we're not gonna focus on that, because that would be just too critical on the self. Self-trust, a deep self-trust. What would shift if you align your desire with deep self-trust? And then ask this as well. This is also a good thing to kind of check your temperature around why we want things is, am I casting, manifesting, idealizing, or what is the intention for what I truly want? Is it something that I think will fill a void, fulfill a wound, or is something that's really aligned with me? Truthfully, be honest. Be honest with yourself. Because sometimes when you try to operate from a place of anxiousness, a wound, or fear, because going back to the money, you cannot manifest money from a lack mentality. You have to have a faith, even when you're at your lowest and you ain't got nothing in your bank account. That faith that God will always come around, or the universe will always circle back and give me what I need. God will always bless me, even when you're at your last dollar. So if you're from a place of anxiousness, you're not. And this, I've been in this energy before too. You cannot manifest out of that energy of desperation, fear of, is this gonna be taken care of? When you say, because there's been times where I've been at my last, I tell you, I use this example all the time because it's one of the things that I remind myself that God got me. The universe got me. My ancestors got me. I remember I was at my last. I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't much. And I had to buy things for my house at the time. And it was like that feeling of, fuck, I don't know, like, I don't know when the money gonna come in right now. This is probably around where I started doing my readings. And it wasn't like it was bad, like I wasn't getting steady clients at the time, but that day I was stressed because I didn't know. And I had to use my last. And when I say that same day, probably not even an hour later, some money came in out of nowhere. It wasn't expected money. It came out of nowhere. So if we have that mindset, like I can't, I won't have, or because it might even be somebody that's going to bless you, or something that opens up. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be some money hitting your bank account. Sometimes it's an idea, something that spirit might say, okay, here's an idea, here's a plan. Hey Tawanda, I'm late. How are you, sis? Um, the doors will open. Or you're manifesting love and spirit saying, why don't you get out the house and join a book club or some shit? I don't know. And you're just like, I don't want to get out of the house. Who's to say that your husband or wife ain't at that book club, child? Or they work at the bookstore or something, or they delivering I don't fucking know. Something, you know? Or you meet them on the way there, your tire blow out or some shit. I don't know. Hey, a man that know how to fucking put a tire on the damn car, take it off and put it on. Shit. Know how to jump a fucking car, like get the jump cables and know what to do with it. You know, you just never know. You never know. All right, let's get to the collective reading. We're going to ask what's blocking the blessings of manifestation, okay? What is blocking the blessings, okay? That's what we're going to ask. That's what we're tapping into tonight. So hopefully this reading will help you guys identify like where, your manifestations or spell work might be out of alignment. Whether it be due to trauma, some fears or something, some energetic confusions, maybe misdirection, just, let's tap in, shall we? Okay. Yay, let's get to it. Like, this bitch talks too much. Just get to the damn cards. This heifer talks too much. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what the energetic, like what's the underlying energy, when it comes to what you're truly manifesting right now. All right, so I call upon our divine team. Divine source God, we thank you. Our angels, our ancestors of the divine alignment and order of our highest counsel, for our destiny, our paths that are of the highest good, of our divine life map. Call on our prophetic beings and ancestors and guides to assist us. We block out any demonic forces or interference, any familiar spirits, tricks, or spirits. We bind you, we block you, we clear the energy of spirit of confusion, despair, hopelessness. We clear this energy, we break it. We ask for clarity, we ask for peace, we ask for sovereignty and understanding and wisdom, spiritual maturity. Amen. Ashe, so it is. Okay. What is this energy? What is truly manifesting right now? My baby don't mess around. I don't know why that's coming through. That's not even on or anything. I turned my music down, but that's coming through. I don't know why. Okay. So some of you guys, it is a mixture of things. A lot of you actually, y'all focus on your money or your stability, career, more than anything. I don't see too much love energy. So not to say that you don't want that, but that's where your focus, like that's where your energy, I feel like, is mainly focused on. So what you are manifesting, you are maybe manifesting new opportunities for yourself, and you're trying to be wise about some of these things. Some of you guys are being met with fear around this though too at the same time. Like you might be unclear, uncertain about your path. Your ancestors, I'm getting a lot of male ancestors, masculine. They might be good with money or opportunities, or they might have had their own businesses. They might have been pastors within a church. They could have had some levels of position. You guys are very smart as well. Like you guys have a lot of skills, and a lot of this is inherited, like maybe business management, money management. Um, let me see. Clarify this. Let me clarify. What's the energy? What's the energy? What's the current energy that you guys are manifesting in? Some of you guys, you are into astrology, or you're looking to astrology or learning it. This could be something you want to get into as a business. And others of you, it could just be like you're looking at your charts as a means to, it's almost like you're looking at it as like what will bring you success, something in your natal chart. Like, what am I going to be good at, or how to approach certain things based off of your natal chart. Something about your sun sign, or something with the first house, maybe first house energy. I'm getting sun though. Sun sign, first house. And some of you may be really good at reading astrology, and that could be where your money comes in, but like you might be sleeping on that. You have a lot of options to create. Yeah, you are a natural quote unquote witch. Some people don't like that word, but like you come from a line of that. And some of you may not even know that it comes from your father's side of the family, where you get most of your spiritual power from, your intuitive gifts from. There might be some wounding around that, like maybe you grew up in the church. There could be some guilt around that. Some of you, your father may be very religious or grew up in some sort of religion where maybe what you're into, they may not be for, or they might have said something that it caused the wound. Maybe you get in your head about. Yeah, some of you guys might be gifted in like being able to read natal charts, read the stars, astronomy. You're good at this, and you're sleeping on a gift that you have. You might feel like, oh, I'm just a student, I don't really know what I'm doing. And to some extent you're learning, but I would say more so you're remembering, because you already know this shit. You already know how to do it in your own way. If you're trying to follow after other people and how they do it, it's going to make you question yourself, because I feel like you already know what you're doing, and it doesn't hurt to learn and to gather, because I feel like that's what you're meant to do. Yeah. Hey sis, how are you? How Sina? All right, so let's see what I'm gonna. What is the unresolved trauma or fears of belief, whatever it is, lower energy that's blocking the flow of this collective's Manifestation. Like, what's the root cause of this? Because I feel like I already touched on it, but we're going to clarify a little bit deeper. The Seven of Swords. Word curses. You know, things that maybe you tell yourself, lies you tell yourself. Five of Cups. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm using the Hoodoo Tarot. So the Seven of Baskets is the cups. So I feel like this is things that you've gathered. Like, let's say the basket is energies, that emotional energy that you've gathered along the way. Maybe internalized words like that were spoken against you, or like defeat words. But Spirit saying you got to move past this energy. How do you move past it? The Two of Knives, the Two of Swords. It's like, oh God, y'all, I don't want to be heavy all the time. I got to be heavy with the messages. Some of you guys may look at yourselves in the mirror from a distorted perception of yourself. Like, you're not seeing yourself clear. Like, someone may have planted seeds in you that makes you look at yourself from a distorted lens. It's not true. You're very, like, I'm telling you, the reason why some people be fucking with you is because, and this isn't to gas anyone up, I'm speaking to somebody that may need to hear it. The reason why a lot of people have fucked with you, especially young, maybe attacked something about you. I feel like your physical appearance, or telling you you're not attractive enough, or that all you are is just an attractive person, a pretty face, or you're just a handsome person and that's it. That's all that works for you. Like, there is some sort of word curse around, like a distortion of how you see yourself, not just physically in the mirror, but the view of your own self, the perception you have of your own self, that they attack you because you're very powerful. I must say that. You're very psychic. And I feel like if you were to pour into something that really mattered to you, um something that is like your baby, like something that you have inside to create and bless, it's going to be very fruitful. You might see 333 a lot, or 555 a lot, but the block here is these word curses and the distortion that you have of yourself. You're very blessed and very lucky. This 4-leaf clover is standing out to me. Some of you guys could be of Irish descent, or Scottish, Irish mainly. Yeah, you're very friendly. You're hardworking. You have visions. There's something with Pisces energy. Some of you guys have Pisces in your first house. Work with the water elements because you're very intuitive. Some of you guys, your animal totem or spirit totem might be a jellyfish. There might be a symbolic connection to jellyfish. Do some mirror magic, maybe not in the sense of looking at yourself in the mirror, because that might seem kind of like off-putting to, like, it might feel unnatural to look at yourself in the mirror and say all these nice things to yourself. It might be for some what you need to break, but for some of you, it is going to be doing something with a mirror, maybe like speaking over it, putting it on your altar if you have one, putting a mirror out underneath the moon and asking the moon energy or your highest self to reflect back to the inner truth and inner parts of who you are. There's something with, or even doing some water magic, maybe looking at yourself in reflection, especially if you resonate with mermaid energy. Mirrors and water is one of your powerful modalities. One of the most powerful modalities is a mirror and water. So spiritual baths, spiritual showers, squiring, mirror work, the moon, those are going to be one of the most powerful. And you might be guided to baptize yourself under during the full moon or something like that, like get baptized, even if it's at a church. Only do this if you're guided and where you're guided to go, because some of you might literally are not being baptized under Christianity or things like that, if that's not what resonates with you. It's something about that. Even Christians know the power of water in their own way, because everything with the, like, some people distort the Bible and Christianity as this cultish thing, or from ignorance or lack of understanding. But really, baptism is a powerful um, spiritual cleansing. Rivers, oceans, lakes, especially to people that have deep intuitive gifts. The water is like you going back to home, going back to mama, coming through and being reborn. They say being reborn under Christ, but we know that when you're, like Erykah Badu says, I was born by the water, or born of the water, born by the water, coming through that mother womb. And symbolically meaning, when you have a baptism, you're not coming back under Christ and being renewed under Christ. That's mama energy. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. There's going to be some sort of soul alignment around that. That baptism is going to be something. There's so many layers to that. I could feel it, but I can't really describe the energy, because I feel like it's the only way I can put it under this umbrella of soul alignment. Soul alignment. There might be clarity around like your purpose, your identity. So if you've been called to fully submerge yourself in water, or get a baptism, that might be the very thing that you need. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel that so strong. Yes. If for some of you, get you some moon water, like during the next full moon, get you some distilled water, put it under the moonlight, and if you have a mirror, maybe put the water, the whatever the compartment or whatever you put the water in, put it on top of a mirror and bless it and ask for divine reflection. Ask for inner wisdom of who you are. And once you get that moon water, if you can, use it and wash your head with it. Do a head wash with that moon water. You can add herbs to it if you want. Hyssop is good for that as well. Wash yourself and then make sure that you cover your head when you're done. Cover your head with a white scarf. Start wearing blue. Start working with blue candles for your intuition, clarity. Some of you guys, you are children of Yemoya too, water goddess energy. Okay. So I'm gonna ask, like, when you do your spiritual work, are you clear in your intentions? Are you intentional? Are you in alignment with what you're asking for, or are you being too vague? Are you being fear-based? Are you being externally motivated? Like, let's see. Intention check, spirit. What's the intention check? Where's the energy behind the intention? What's the energy? What's the energy behind the intention? Courting, which is the lovers. You're split. You're in two minds or two hearts about something, or your heart is maybe moving in one direction where your mind is moving in another. They have to be on one accord. For some reason, you feel like you have to choose something. You might say, part of you might go, this is wrong, or this is right, or this is stupid, or this is not. It's something that's split, that's not in agreement. It's almost like you feel it's bad because this Ace of Pentacles card clarifying it. This person they have a plate out and someone's about to offer them a cake. So it's almost like you feel you have to have a backup plan, like you're asking for something, but in the back of your mind, you're like, if this doesn't work out, then maybe I should ask something else, something like that. It's like you're at a crossroads spiritually. You might be at a literal spiritual crossroads where you may not be clearly intended because you don't really know what you should be wanting or asking, or why you're at. It's almost like you're waiting for clarity first. So if you're doing things ahead of time, like, deep down inside, okay, I need clarity about my purpose, or I want to be in alignment with my purpose, or I want a divine counterpart. But there's a part of you that's saying, I want this, but I don't feel like I'm ready to have it, or something. It's like there's some waiting for waiting for something. Let me see. What is it? You've been seeing 555 lately? Then there we go. Got the Son of Baskets. The Son of Baskets. Okay. Some of you guys could literally have a son. Or you feel like you can't complete something. You can't have a child yet. Some of y'all might be praying for a child, to have a baby, have another baby, but you feel like you can't yet until something happens, or, it's something with that. Or it's like, I can't give birth to what I really want to give birth to in life until X, Y, and Z. It's going back to maybe feeling like something in your inner child feels like, whatever someone told you, it's like, be cautious, don't do it. Or no, you can't right now, because it's like some false caution, like a false fear of something. Because someone might have told you like things as a kid, and you've kept that, you held on to that, to where it's almost like a subconscious fear of, don't do something, be careful. The person that was soliciting, like giving you this advice, they might have smiled while they said it, or seemed loving, but they don't really have the wisdom. They don't have the foresight to see. They're not seeing into anything real. Does that make sense? Like, they're not speaking to you from a place that where they can see, like they weren't prophesying truth onto you. It was a projection of something. It was almost like they may have felt like what they were saying was wise, or it's almost like they weren't even there. It's like empty words, like, all pretty girls, as long as you stay nice and pretty, you'll have a person, you'll have a husband. Um, or, oh, my son, you so handsome, you don't got to do nothing. Women will fall at your feet, right? So when you get to a place where you say, let's say as a little girl that was told, oh, stay pretty and stay quiet, be nice, and you'll have a husband. In your mind, you don't believe that truthfully. It's something that you took in, but it's not a real belief of yours. It's like it's a false word, right? And so when your true self says, I want love now, or I'm ready for love, or my heart is open, that's what I really want to receive. And then another part is you like, well, remember how you said that you need to go to the gym more, and you're not in shape, you're not toned enough, you're not ready for a husband. Remember, you got to be pretty, stay nice, stay fit, then you'll have a husband. You're not ready for that yet. Or, you have an attitude, you're too feisty, you're too independent, you're not nice enough for a man, you need to work on that. That's falseness. Or the little boy maybe that heard, oh, my son, you're so handsome, you don't have to do nothing, women will just fall at your feet. And when you say, I'm ready for a wife, but you say, no, I can have all these women over here, I don't need to have a wife, what I need to do that for? There's something that blocks the energy, and it's some sort of like superficial word that was spoken over someone, but it's coming from someone that does not have real sight to see. They may be projecting like what they want on you, like, this is what I want for my daughter or my son, or it's not, it's not a real perception. Okay. Let's see. Spirit. Yeah, you're not ready to receive what you're asking for, like whatever it is specifically, whatever this resonates with, you're not fully ready for it. And I feel like you know that. You know this. Let's see. It's a block within the heart chakra, the receptivity level. You're passionate about something. Your passion is going to break through this. You're going to take your power back, because this is really a form of you giving your power to that word that was spoken over you, or the beliefs maybe that you were told or raised up under. You're going to get your power back in this. So whatever was inheritedly is almost like something that was stolen from you, your identity or your truth or how you really see it. This shit is deep. So whatever was spoken to you as a child or in your youth that you can remember, you're old enough to remember, and you took that energy on, and it seemed like it was coming from a place of love, or coming from a place of, oh, mama knows best, or whoever knows best, right? It came from that. That is why it is a double-edged sword to baptize yourself in the mother womb, the water energy coming out anew and soul aligned, seeing yourself clear, or working with the water, working with the mother energy, the moon, to see yourself. Because I feel like a mother, or someone that was like a caregiver, like a mother figure, it could have been a babysitter, it could have been an auntie, a grandma, big sister, someone that had maternal energy, said something that was light, but it was false. Like, even if they don't know it was false, it wasn't true. And that kind of blinded the perception of who you really are meant to be. So if someone is taught all their life that all it takes for you to be successful is just be handsome or be pretty, or be quiet, shut up, don't say nothing, be sweet, smile, you'll get what you want out of life, or whatever the falseness was, that's not your story, that's not your destiny, and that's not your path, that's not even your personality. But you might have walked into that your whole entire life, and that's why you haven't been able to completely manifest the things that you want, to an extent, I feel like. So by you cleansing yourself, you're reversing that, you're removing that energy off of you, because it's a lie, it's not real. And some of you might reconnect with some of your ancestral roots, or your cultural roots will, some of your cultural roots might be connected to Native American traditions. Your It's something about the men in your family and the bloodline, they are nothing like either what you date, and or like the type of man that you are. If you are a man, like the energy, like your mother put that's not something, that's, it's her perception of things. She was projecting something onto you that is not in alignment with who you are. I feel like the men in your family are very resilient, very powerful. They're men's men, they're real men. Like they they would frown upon a lot of these men. um in compassion, I feel like if you are a man, they see you as stuck. Yeah, there's 7 of baskets is at the bottom of the deck, and it has a spiritual bath. So yeah, some of y'all, it might be that. Cleanse yourself through a spiritual bath. Yeah, it's like you're split between 2 different energies. Some of you guys might find antlers on your path, or something with like, um, I don't know if it's like bones. It might be a bone. It might be an antler. And I feel like that is a gift from the ancestors. And it might even be something connected to your culture, like specific type of bones that you find. Somebody's ancestor that's a man, excuse me, leaves like little trinkets. They're not trinkets though, they're spiritual modalities. They have power behind them, like clocks, watches, nails, bones. They're leaving like stuff that you're supposed to take with you. These are, especially if you are someone that does divination, these are charms that maybe you'll use and do divination with. Yeah, this mirror magic card keeps coming out. So next full moon, this is going to reveal something to you. Yep. If you've been seeing black birds, crows, there's a message for you. They're telling you to protect your destiny, protect your prophecy, protect your visions. Again, number 33 or 333. Protect your visions. Put a seal of protection around them. Protect your mind, protect your crown. Yeah, these birds have messages for you. Animals as well are going to be crossing your path, and those are messengers for you. They may also represent like what your soul essence is. Okay. Divine Mama, Big Mama is waiting for you, this cleansing. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to take you in and bless you. Okay. Big Mama is both the sun and the moon. She is the light. Your gestation and your birth. You have an altar. You might have a granny that wants some food on that altar, child. Come Sunday, if you have an altar for your ancestors, a Big Mama, she wants something on her altar. Okay. She might want some soul food. If you can cook, that's a medicine. If you can cook, there's no reason why your ancestors, I don't like the food thing, honestly, like with the altars, unless it's like something enclosed, like some fruit or something. But like open stuff, I don't really like that because I don't want bugs and stuff all up in my shit. But maybe if you leave it out for an hour or day or something, I don't know. Maybe they want some sort of cakes, pies, bread, cornbread. Yeah. A Bible. She might want a Bible on the altar, your granny's altar. They might want a Bible, might be a Catholic Bible, could be the Holy Bible, something that resonates with her. Okay. So after this alignment, what type of energetic shift will happen? Behavioral, be it emotional, like that will unlock the flow and help you manifest an alignment. What's going to come of this after these spiritual cleansing, spiritual work? You're going to be able, I love it. Your palms going to be itching. The Six of Pentacles or Six of Coins in this deck, she has some money in her hands. She has some dice, some coins laying there, and she's scratching looks like her left palm. Typically, like, that is a sign of money coming in, or like you're about to win big on something if you're a gambler. And I'm not condoning that. If you're led, because sometimes we be led to play them numbers, we be led to go to the casinos, get them scratch tickets, whatever. I'm not promoting that. Use your own discernment. But I do feel like what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to see like what you weren't able to, like, see the way out of things. Like, not how do I explain it? Not see the way out of things, but like see the potentials in certain pathways that you weren't able to see, that weren't visible. You know how to stick and move. Like, I don't see you being caught up, being stuck, being played, being manipulated anymore energetically. I got this. This is an energy where I know how to, like, what direction to move with clear and precise action. It's very fearless. I love the Daughter of Sticks. It's like a girl, a cowgirl. It reminds me, I went to the Black Rodeo like a couple years ago, and there was a 5-year-old cowgirl horse rider. It was just so like, just mad. I don't know how to explain it. Just see her in action, like this little tiny little thing, like riding that horse. Like, girl, she was bad. I don't know how else to explain it. Okay. But I kind of get that energy. It's very fearless. Like, this is the real you. This is the inner child in you. Like, break it free and be like, I'm that person. Even if because I feel like people try to gaslight you and tell you things about yourself that are not true. Try to docile you. I shouldn't say docile you, but like turn you into someone that's docile and fearful and questions and doubts themselves, or to quiet down. It may not have been their intent, but like whatever that thing that was spoken of you, that's the effect that it had. And this is the opposite of that. So I feel a lot of energy around money or like blessings, gifts. So you might have, you might start sensing like, oh, okay, I can see this. there's something around a house or building with the tower card, the big house. Your ancestors might be saying there's something that comes when you tear down. Let me see. Let me clarify that. What is this? That child that was told, oh, if you just play nice, if you play safe, if you play small, if you regress, if you stay watered down and neutral, you'll be blessed. You're tearing that lie. That's a fucking lie. You're tearing that down. That is not you. You're tearing that down. I don't know why this little boy in this card looked like Usher, like a little Usher, like a little kid version of Usher. I don't know why. But like, let that shit burn. Okay, y'all funny. I can't stand them. You got the big house and it's literally burning, and then the little boy, like I said, that looks like Usher is clarifying it. So let that shit burn. And isn't there a song with Usher called New Flame? I don't know. I don't know if there's a spiritual way to kind of like interpret that outside of like what it appears to be, but let it burn in new flame. It's like two things in one. You're letting something old die, and there's a new flame. So almost like a energy rising, a phoenix rising energy. You know, so that's what I feel like. There's something that's going to spark you after you've torn that down. It's like two energies in one. It's like fire and water. Fire and water energy. Fire, the purification, the cleansing, the rebirthing. The fire also being the energy that transmutes, that purifies as well. And something new births from the water and the fire. Some of you guys have Pisces energy very strongly. Maybe even Pisces, Aries energy, Aries cusp. Something with your first house. Again, Aries is first house. So there could be something in your first house, or Pisces is in your first house. Something, I don't know. Or like the planet of, was it Neptune that rules Pisces? Like something within your first house is connected to Pisces. Some of you guys may have a North Node in Pisces or North Node in Aries. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be like a fearlessness. Like you see your path clear or clearer. You have better sense of direction. Oh, yeah. Girl. If you feel guided, because I picked bones up earlier, like you might find some bones on your path, or like, I don't know if you hike, you nature walk, you live near the forest, the woods, or you just maybe even the desert. If you come across some bones or some antlers, that is your ancestors speaking to you. But if some of you are guided to get a bone reading, because the judgment card in this deck is them bones. So this woman is getting a bone reading. Some of the shit might come out in the reading. It's going to be revealed to you. Some of you guys might go to a man, and they don't hold no punches. They tell you the motherfucking truth. And some of you guys might go to a reader that's a woman. You're going to get the same message more than one. They're going to reveal to you that person that spoke something over you as a child. They're going to reveal it to you, or they're going to confirm it. You go to a Passover loved one, like a grandmother, some of you, a big mama, or that could be what you call her. You come to her about the things that worry you. You come to her about the things that worries you, and she might, I don't know, like her energy is reminding you, or might be what leads you to get this reading from this man. And there's a woman too that's going to give you a reading, or I don't know, maybe it's me that's confirming it or telling you it. And then you go to this male, I don't know, some of you, they might reveal it to you, confirm it. because it's a man and a woman here. They have different types of gifts or different types of spiritual tools that they use. But they are going to, let me use this other deck here real quick. I'm going to use this Oracle deck. They're going to confirm something for you that you already felt, that you already knew. And it's rest in peace to this energy. Now, some of you, this person that spoke this block over you, or I should say to you, they might not be living anymore. They could have already passed on or something. This person is very vain. I feel like that's why they said what they said, because they believe that, like, oh, that's what got me a husband. I played nice, played sweet, kept it pretty, did everything that the men like, and that's what got. So they're projecting, or they did project. So the abandoned plantation kind of looks like the Tower card in the Hoodoo Tarot. So the abandoned plantation card is dismantling ugly truths. And the crossroads card is at the bottom of the deck. Road opener and decision. So you're unblocking your roads to an extent, because it's like, if you feel like you take one step forward, you take two steps back after. It's because of that split mind of things, like how you've been seeing something or what you've been told. So you meet with resistance when you have to fully see yourself to know, like, no, under the umbrella of what you told me, that is not my story. That is not my destiny, my truth. And every time I get a whiff of what is my destiny and I try to manifest it, try to call it in, there's a resistance, because there's something in the back of my mind that says that's not the way to go. You're not going to be successful doing this. You got to do it like this or do it another way. So that's the resistance. That's the block. When you cleanse this and you see that path clear, that voice is not going to be there umbrelling under you, raining on your parade and blocking your blessings, because essentially that's what it's doing, or it's causing you to play small. It's causing you to play small. So like once you break that, yeah, it's over with. Number 7, let me see. Number 7. This card is about dismantling old crumbling systems in your life and in the world. Do not align with your inner compass of justice. This may be personal work you need to do in order to write your own family life. Wow. Or it might be a call to political activism or community service. This is a shadow card asking you to question how, in your present world, many outdated and decaying systems continue to cause harm. After all, there's no point admiring the pretty decorations if the ruined underlying structure threatens to fall or crush you. So again, like someone told you something that sounds cute, like, oh, just be pretty or just be this, do that. You can't be too much of this, you can't be too much of that. Play neutral, play small. That carried, and you're tearing that down. Like, that's not my story. That's not real for me. That's not me. Like, I have my own path, my own character, my own truth. Like, that's not everybody's story. That's what you're tearing down. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you, sis. Yeah, this shit was like, wow. Okay. Shoot, I'm taking this in too now. I got some work to do on myself. Like, this is, yeah. And I don't feel, yeah, making a way out of something. And the masculines, like, don't discount the male energies of your bloodline, because like I said, they made a way out of something. They knew what was up. So grandma, all the mamas, they there, but the papas and them, they got something too. Some of them are they're still living, they got the blueprint. Like, they are resilient. Okay. All right. Okay. And something with the Bible, I don't know, like, if you guys have any like grandmas that read the Bible, but there's something to that. And like I said, it could be just putting it on the altar for her, but it seems a little bit more deeper than that. I don't know if it's like a message within the Bible for you, like a word or prayer, but I do feel like you're being encouraged to write down your manifestations. Write them down, date them, date the manifest or date, yeah. Okay. Date what you're affirming, what you're trying to manifest or what you are manifesting. Call it, like, write it down and date it, because you're going to go back to it later. So keep it in a journal because you're going to return back to it. It's written. And some of your ancestors, like the males, they might have worked around steam mills or something like that. They worked around fire and heat. They love smoke. They love the smell of smoke. They love the smell of gasoline. They love the smell of cars. They could have been mechanics. They loved like pipes or tobacco smoke, cigars, but they got a word for you. Okay. Like, write this stuff down, date it, and come back to it. Okay. All right. Interesting. All right, so that was our reading, our collective read. How'd y'all like that shit? Did y'all like that? I did. That was good. That boy was good. What was that? Homecoming to America. Oh, that was good reading. That was what's up. So if you guys want to book a personal reading with me, I should have left it in the description, but your girl didn't. Let me go ahead and do that. It's waluchildreadings.ninja. If you guys want to book voice recorded readings, hit the shop tab. If you want to book phone readings or coaching sessions, hit the book tab in the upper right hand corner of my website. If you want to book a personal reading with me, I got you. Okay. Glad to work with you. We're now going to do our Venus on the Block reads, which is our newest read in installments for Friday when we do our Ghetto Friday. So Venus on the Block, it's mainly energy surrounding like you, your magnetism, your work within yourself, things like that. So it could be beauty, it could be abundance, it could be self-work, whatever, And I have 9 readings for you to choose from for 22 via Cash App or PayPal. Make sure that you leave your name and the reading that you're getting, the number of the reading. So I have 9 to choose from. You can click the description box, expand the description just to see like what is, pick your vibe for tonight, which one resonates with you. Okay. Um, so all the ladies that already got one, I will put your name in the description box so you can come back and watch your reading, because I am going to put timestamps for the live discussion, the collective reading, and the Venus is the Venus on the Block reads. So, okay. So we can go and get started. 103 minutes. I'll generate that later. I'm not going to try to do the math in my head. That's like 2 hours. 2 hours and 30 minutes, I think, or around that change, something like that. Maybe not that much. Yeah. So I'm gonna put the names in the chat so you guys know. Um, I know the first is Breyonna, and I believe Mahogany. Hey sis, how y'all doing? Love Goddess, are you still on here? Are you still on here, girl? Are you still on here? If not, I know she said she'll come on. She'll come back on what you call it, next Ghetto Fairy Friday. Yeah, this Hoodoo Tarot wasn't playing, right? It was not playing. That deck was going in like never before. So, alrighty, let's get into our Venus. I know, isn't she pretty? It's gorgeous. All right. So, Breyonna, you are up first. And you wanted number 2 and number 9 read. So, number 2 is softness and power, which is all about reconnecting to your feminine softness, your rest, your magnetism without struggle, without that struggle. And then you wanted a love letter from Venus. So a love note from her or your love goddess energy to you, what she wants you to know about your love, your beauty, and your power. Okay. All right. So let's get it. I'm going to use I don't remember what this deck is called. Hold on. I think it's the Love Goddess or Tarot. Like it's inspired by Aphrodite, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Um, Goddess of Love Tarot. Yeah. So this is inspired by Aphrodite. Okay. All right. So I clear out previous energies and messages with love, light, and peace to the collective of those that received the previous message. We thank you to our angels, our ancestors, and guides, and most of all, the Most High Creator, Source. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Ask for permission to tap into Breyonna's energy. For the sake of this guidance, this message, this reading, we ask for divine covering and protection around us and on timelines and spaces. Amen. Ashe. Okay. Okay. For her to reconnect with her feminine softness, rest, and magnetism without struggle. What is she being called to do in this instant, Spirit? The Hermit, the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Cups, ooh, Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Cups. Okay. So how to return back to this is, I feel like you need to give yourself more rest in a sense of maybe not doing so much. Sometimes like maybe when you are in that state of just let me relax, um let me lay back, not do anything, there's something like maybe internal things that pop up, like where it makes you think, okay, I got to deal with this, I got to go within, I got to do some healing work, like, but no, that's the part of the being, and that's another part of the reason why I was saying, like, when we were talking about the manifestations, I mentioned like not hyper fixating on what part of healing do I need to do. What can I, instead of focusing on that so much, because that does add that extra pressure. I feel like spirit is actually saying, like, instead kind of resting in like not trying to figure it out, not trying to make sense, and not saying to just be mute to it and not go within yourself and all of that. It's not telling you to do that. It's just saying to learn to silence the noise. And that's almost like, meditation, kind of disciplining yourself to allow the thoughts and the feelings to like rise up, right? And not feel the pressure to try to stuff it down, but just let it pass through. Okay. I don't have to catch it all right now. Let me just allow it, because some of it could be gunk, a little bit of it. When you eat food, I'm getting like things that you really, I'm getting fruit specifically. I don't know if you like fruit, but if you like fruit, Spirit is saying like things that are not scrumptious. I don't use that type of word. Not scrumptious. When you're eating something that's scrumptious or juicy, like let's say it's like a mango, or it's like an apple of like, or a peach or something, like sit in the moment of eating that fruit. Like there's something about the sensuality of eating, like might be something that helps you become present. So like if you take your first bite of whatever that juicy fruit or vegetable is, something that's juicy I'm getting. When you eat it, take your time with it and like really taste the, like the texture, the temperature, be present, and that might be a meditative thing. It's not saying do this all the time, every time you eat, or every time you get in your head, go grab you something to eat. Like, you don't want to be compulsively eating, but like, it might help you to be present if you eat with pleasure and not like, sometimes when we eat, it's like, just eating, just eating, but no, sit. Or when you sip something, it could be wine or something that has these fruits in it. Um, when you sip it slow, sip it slow, taste it, just be like present in that. That's what I'm getting. That's interesting. Okay. Um, you might be trying to prove to yourself that you're okay or that you're happy or you're content, and you don't have to prove that to yourself. It's like, just be still in that, you know or maybe it's like a goal post, like, okay, I'm almost there, I'm almost there, I'm almost getting there, or this is where my aim of happiness is, so I got to strive towards that. Again, that relaxation energy, just like allowing things to unfold. So like, I don't know, spirit wants to speak to you through like nature or things in your life, things in your present moment. So like, if you feel drawn to get some flowers, or I'm getting more so roses. If you feel guided to get yourself some roses, get the ones that haven't fully opened yet. They're still kind of like in that tight, kind of like tulip type of shape. They haven't fully rose, like they haven't fully blossomed open. Get them in that state and pay attention to the time frame of how they start to bloom, because there's something about this where spirit is saying like, you're pacing. They're teaching you flow and pace, and like the nature, the flow of things, like by just allowing it to be, but being present. That makes sense. So your happiness is connected to this flow, because there's some days where you want to kind of close yourself off. There's days where maybe you just want to be in solitude, you don't want to be bothered, you don't really know how you feel some days, and there's some days where you feel really good and you feel like, real bubbly or open. Invite the flow of all of that, because the more resistant, the more controlled it is, the more like the energy is louder and it causes friction, if that makes sense. So that present energy that you have, be in that. And there's really something about like things that you enjoy, and kind of making it not a communion, but like, what's the right word that I'm feeling? It's almost like, again, like you like apples or you've been eating apples lately. It's a pleasure. It's something maybe that brings you back to, I don't know, like, again, peace or gratitude. You might be like, oh, this is so good. It tastes like, it makes you happy. Like, sometimes food can make you happy, but in a way where, not because you're consuming and you're, being greedy, but in a place where maybe it's really gratitude, actually. Whether it's gratitude for living, being able to smell, being able to taste, being like wherever moment you are presently before you ate that apple, there's something, I'm hearing the word communion. Yeah. So rather than like chasing this, understand the flow. Um, Leo season could be, when Leo season comes up, it could be an energy where you do feel more connected to yourself. You might be called to do like some yoni healing, some yoni work. Um, Appreciating your yoni as like a space and portal. I don't know if you have the Sacred Woman book, but I love that book for what it is, by Queen Afua. Doesn't cost much at all. Um, but there's something with the yoni health and wellness and getting back to that and like loving her, loving that space. Um, it might be weird at first, but I'm getting like, do some mirror work around your yoni, like maybe looking at it, sending healing to it, maybe accepting it. I don't know. Some women don't like looking at their own body parts, especially those parts. Like there's a shame sometime around it why women might be like, oh, I don't like the way this looks, or some women like the way they shit look. Some people don't, but there's acceptance around this. There's something powerful about that. It's like two things in one happening, or maybe multiple things happen at once with that over time. But this is like it's a part of the sensual. I'm getting the word for you is flow, sensual, presence. Yeah, that is the energy. So when you choose this softness, I see you, it's easier for you to just let go and release and not sweat certain things that maybe you used to. Yeah, I see you being more receptive to just kind of like not sweating it, not thinking too deep into things, and be like, okay, it's passing through. I'm not tripping off of that. Not chasing happiness because you don't have to chase it. You just become it, or you just are it. It's there. It's really a perspective, it's a mindset. Um, and I feel like you understand that, but it might be like, sometimes we can be happy about certain things, we can be grateful for certain things, but the things that we feel like we lack or that's not present, it's like we reach for it more, or we feel like we have to chase it, or we feel like, oh, until this happens, until it comes into my existence. But that's not the case. It's not an until and a win. You know what I mean? Because once we get that, then there's another goalpost that says, okay, but what about this next? And you're not present. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. So that was your first spread. Your second spread is a love letter from Venus, or your love goddess energy, or your highest self. So we're going to get into that. Now I want some wine. You're welcome. I want some wine now because my bestie, her mom had this wine that sounded good. It was like, it was like peach, or it was something. It was something tropical, but they don't have it in my area. It's called Pacific Fruit Vineyard or something. Like, yeah, Pacific Fruit Vineyards. They don't have it out here. So I'm really disappointed. I might have to order it online and then just have it delivered to me. All right. So, all right. Message Venus, Divine Goddess, Love Energy to Breyonna. Okay. Seven of Swords. Okay. The Maiden of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands. The Seven of Wands. Yeah. It's good. Which one have you had? Because I want to give me some. Okay. So Venus message to you, her first message, how she sees you. She sees you in a way that you're not seeing yourself. So like there could be kind of similar to the collective reading. There could be some distortions around you, how you see yourself. Not fully. So like these two moths, it's almost like the moth has a dualistic, like kind of like the twin of a butterfly. The butterfly gets praised more for being beautiful, where the moth is kind of like this cloth eating, dark, connected to dark things, negativity. So you might not see the power in your moth energy. I would look up what moths mean in spirituality, like the power of a moth, because again, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a spirit of comparison. Like maybe you feel like you compare yourself to others and you're not seeing your power. You don't always see the magic in your essence. And the magic in your essence could be in the things that you feel were criticized, or that you even yourself criticize about you, or think maybe bad about it. There's something with this Ma, but she's saying that your energy, like, you don't see the power in it. There's something that's being criticized and or demonized by you, or has been by others, where your beauty actually lies, you know? And it's like, even though we prop up the butterfly and we revere it, it was once a caterpillar. It was once in a cocoon where it wasn't all beautiful and didn't have those wings. So it's like, never covet or look at what someone else has or holds as it's better than yours, because we all had our seasons where we've had to be this way. And you might say, well, some people might have struggled, or some people may have not always been this way or that way, but I've always had to, be this. I've never got that permission to grow and to change, or to glow, or to be this, or to be accepted. And there's power in that. You got to find it. I'm not sure how that might relate to you, but that's what I'm picking up. There's something with the moth in your power, finding the beauty in it, because it is beautiful. The moth is kind of like that dark goddess energy, where it's not to be compared, a soft goddess versus a dark, powerful goddess is not meant to be compared, because they're two different archetypes, they're two different energies and frequencies, but nonetheless, they are powerful, they are beautiful, they're just different. Um, when it comes to love, the right person is going to bring out a softness in you. I'm getting like the Victorian age, like with the corsets and the pretty vanity mirrors and the perfume bottles and the big dresses. Like someone that's going to take it back to like real courting. Someone that's going to make you feel soft in your energy, where you don't feel the need to perform or try to show up in some kind of way. It's like that mirror magic with your yoni connects to this as well. It's like the tapping into the essence of your own femininity, the levels of its softness, but its power at the same time. I hope that makes sense. And who's safe to experience that and who's not safe to experience that with. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you got to tap into that fiery goddess. And there's something about Leo energy or Leo season that this activates. So it's like a balance of fire and softness. Um, that dualistic energy, the moth, the butterfly, the rose, the fire. Um, I don't know why, but I'm getting a Josephine Baker's energy. Like her vibe is very playful, but it's sexy. It's something about her. And then Grace Jones. I'm getting like this vintage energy. Grace Jones. I'm getting um Eartha Kitt vibes too. So again, different levels of femininity, but still goddess like. Still, I'm getting, it's okay to be colorful and multi-layered and not be put in a box. Like there's something with that. Um I don't know if you resonate with the style, like that type of vintage look or something, but I'm getting like the archetypes as well of their energy. It's feline energy, but like big cat energy. So I don't know. I keep picking up Leo too. Yeah. What makes you like you, or what makes you beautiful and magnetic? It is connected to something with fearlessness, or like a shadow energy that becomes a fearlessness, a fierce energy, I should say. Like instead of fighting against both natures, because there's a tiger in one card and there's a jaguar, and they're kind of looking at each other like, bitch, what you gonna do? Well, what you want to do? But instead of looking at that part of yourself and be like, bitch, what you want to do? Like fighting, ready to fight her, ready to take your earrings out over one side of yourself. It's like, how can you find power in both of those energies? So I do get spirit of comparisons to the point where you turn it on yourself or you take it out on yourself. The last card you got was the Empress. So the gift I really feel like with all of this is that there's a more of a confidence that is going to radiate out of you, more of a relaxed energy. And it's so interesting. These cards, they just scream dualistic. All of these, like, you have two cupids on one end and the other. You have two dolphins. One dolphin is swimming in a different, like, the wave looks like a different color from the wave that the other dolphin is swimming in. Again, it's like these two dual sides. And being composed, being relaxed, comfortable, confident, seen in both energies of you. Okay, so let's get one more message. I'm gonna use this oracle card, the Cosmic Pearl, which is like the mermaid essence and energy. We're gonna tap into that. Okay, anything else to affirm Breyonna at this time? Anything else? Anything else to affirm? Anything else to affirm Breyonna? You have the pink rose petals. Child, come on now. Blessings, gratitude, and joy. And then you have the swan medicine at the bottom, which I do feel like that goes back to, comparison and growth and beauty, seeing yourself. The swan medicine, it says adaptability, confidence, and focus. Okay, so her message to you is that, like the rose, going back to the allowing it to open, allowing it to on its own time be to blossom, to be seen, the same thing with yourself. You know, you may feel the pressure of the swan, but you're not meant to fit in. I don't know if you ever seen this movie, this crazy ass movie called The Black Swan. It's like, that movie was crazy to me. It was weird, but the girl wanted that part so bad that she lost herself in that. She wanted to be the swan princess so bad that she morphed into actually something really dark, and again, it goes back to the two sides and nature of us. But instead of letting that part consume her so much, um, instead of consuming it, taking the part in, because sometimes we can take on personality traits, we can take on an image, or thinking that this is how we have to become until it becomes a monster. But instead of it becoming a monster, allow it to be a kind of like a mirror that you hold and look into yourself. And once you embrace her, forgive her, there's something powerful in that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I'm getting. Okay. I love these goddess cards too. These are the shit. Like, we own it today with these cards. Is on fire. Okay. So those were your readings, sis. I appreciate you for participating with the goddess on the block, the Venus on the block read. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're very welcome. My pleasure, sis. All right. So Mahogany, let's see what yours was. You sipping on some mixed fruit wine? I really want that wine so bad. Like, I want to try it. It sounds so good. But there was this champagne wine that was really good. It had, I think it was apricot, apple, grape. I gotta find it because it was pretty good. It was pretty bubbly. I was like, it's like 20 something dollars, which isn't that bad, but considering the size of the bottle, it was like, okay. All right, Miss Mahogany. Let's get your time. Let's see, 129. I'm gonna fix these timestamps to convert them to the right time. All right, so Mahogany, you wanted number 3. Yeah, number 3. So yours was the Mirror Mirror Venus. So what do you need to see in yourself to become the baddie that you already are? Okay, let's tap in to that. Okay. All right, Holy Spirit, Divine Source God, thank you for your divine wisdom, truth, and clarity. We clear all previous energies out with love, light, and peace, sending Breyonna her energy back to her in wholeness and fullness. Amen and Ashe. That's for permission that's happened to Mahogany's energy around what does she need to do to see herself, to become the baddie that she already is. All right, so this reading is for you reclaiming your beauty, your power, okay, your sensuality, your spiritual authority, all that good stuff. You know, it's about seeing yourself clearly, you know, with reverence. All right, so let's see. I'm going to ask, what illusion is distorting your self-image? Like, what, Divine Spirit, what illusion is distorting, okay, the High Priestess? Something around self-trust. It has Isis or Mama Aset on this card of the High Priestess, and she is a magical practitioner. She's a healer, um, wise counsel. So you might not see these parts of yourself. Something about like magic doesn't have to be like the magic, you know, spiritual working magic with the hands on and that. But what makes you a magical person is something that you don't see around that. Emotionally, there's things that block you from this, that block you from seeing this energy. So like maybe things that you've experienced, things that you've gone through, like the way that people have treated you, might distort this. So it's like, if I'm so special, if I'm so this, if I'm so that, then why did this happen to me? Why did this person treat me like that? And it's not a reflection of your worth at all. And I know like we hear that, and it's sometimes we still combat that and say, well, if that's the case, then why did it have to happen? But some people are just shitty. And times if we don't see ourselves, you know, we don't see the mistreatment as a reflection of someone's character rather than a reflection of our worth sometimes, right? So let me see. What should you be seeing when you look in the mirror? Like, what does your spiritual team want you to see when you look back at yourself in a mirror? Like, what should you be seeing? You have the Three of Pentacles. Someone that is like building, working, a work in progress, but not like a work in progress where you constantly have to be grinding and working, but naturally becoming and unfolding. So there's a lot of psychological wounds, heart, emotional wounds, betrayals, deception, maybe that you hold on to that, you know. It's in the psyche. So anything that works with the brain or clears the mind. I don't know if you drink pomegranate or eat pomegranates, but maybe some pomegranate juice with the intention of dedication to your goddess self. Something about cleansing the mind. Now, this is just a step. It may not be a whole remedy, but it's a step. Let's see. They also want you to see the power within. It's like being able to, because I'm getting like a visual of like somebody that takes a snake, and because snakes are not always, they're depicted as evil, but they're not always evil symbolically. So we are in the year of the snake. So this could be something this year like that transforms you, where you take all the deceptions and lies and betrayals, and it's like you take it by the neck. You suck the venom out of it, like it holds no power over you. I don't know if I ever shared this dream on any of the readings, but I had this weird ass dream. I think it was this year. Like I had a dream that I was lying in bed and I was protecting somebody, or I was like, yeah, it was like I was there protecting them. But at first it started off as me comforting them, but it ended up me having to protect them and myself, of course, because there was a snake in the bed. And the snake was there. And instead of me being afraid of it, because in real life, I can be so close to a snake. I don't need to be too close to it. Like I can stand at certain proximities to it, but not too close. This snake was laying right in the bed next to me in the dream, and I took the snake and I bit its head off, which is really crazy. Like just took it and like, no, motherfucker, it just bit the head off. And it was almost like confronting or facing a fear. And oddly enough, I don't fear snakes anymore like that. Like I don't have that type of fear. So there's something with snakes, or just like the energy depiction, like the dark or shadow side depiction of a snake, where like this deception, betrayal, um maybe even like spiritual blockages, that spirit, like they want you to look in the mirror as someone that can defeat that, can combat it, that holds power, that is fearless in spite of what has ever happened to you. You have the Six of Pentacles, yet they want you to also see yourself, I feel like, in a position of deserving, that you are deserving of positive things, good things. You are deserving of receiving. Like you are, it's almost like if you tell yourself, or there's like a subconscious feeling sometimes where you don't believe that you're deserving of receiving in some kind of way. Like it's almost always maybe I have to earn it, or it's something around it where if you get something or there's a blessing that comes, you feel ashamed. You don't feel 100% safe with receiving, if that makes sense. Like it's almost like a guilt, or you don't want to come off a certain way, you know. um but no, spirit is wanting you to see yourself as deserving to receive. So when things do come your way, good things come your way, where your hands are blessed to receive, like look at it as a gift from the divine. Look at it as a love letter. Don't look at it as, oh, shameful, or oh, I got to do this, or I have to earn, I have to work so hard to just, like, you don't have to grind for everything, you know. You might be attracting a lot of, like, I don't know, like attention. There's something about your energy that is alluring, sexy right now, or more sexy. It's an energy that might kind of sparks people's lusts, curiosity, um, a primal energy in people. This feels like sexy, like sexual energy mixed in together. Let's see. Yeah, it's almost like people see you as confident. People on the outside view you as someone that is attractive, someone that knows that she's attractive, someone that knows that she's sexy, or they assume that it's something about like sexual energy, like maybe they assume you're good in bed. But behind that, for some reason, it's like you doubt these very things about yourself or something. It's like there's some distortion around that. But maybe because of the wrong eyes or the wrong hands, like they might have exploited this energy that's actually sacred, that's actually like your natural vibe and essence. um yeah, it's like they doubt this about you, but or you doubt this about yourself, like you don't see it, and they might not see it in that sacred energy, but that doesn't mean that it's not sacred. So with the Seven of Cups clarifying this card, it has a mermaid. And this mermaid has seashells around her. She has pearls around her. So it's like there's something about you that is alluring for a reason, and it's sacred. It's healing power. But under the wrong eyes, it might be just like lustful, you know. But that doesn't take away or diminish its power. That makes sense. Okay. So to embrace this baddie energy that you already have within you, um, is to accept emotionally the things that have hurt you, because once you accept it, it opens the doors for you to be like, I'm not held to that anymore. Like, that's not my story. And then you got the Crone of Wands, or the Crone of Cups, sorry. Crone of Cups is equivalent to the King of Cups. So it's like the wisest energy, the wisest out of the suits, or the court cards. So when it comes to this, God, that goddess, that baddie that's already in existence inside of you, when you accept and say, okay, the things that should be of my past or are in my past that emotionally took from me, or I felt like I overextended or gave to things that didn't amount to anything, because I'm going back to the same message. I'm picking it up again, where in the beginning of your reading, where I was picking up, if I'm so this or so that, then why did this person treat me like that? Why did I get dealt this type of hand? Why do I get treated this way by people that I love or care about or supposed to care about and love me? Which is a real thing. Like, trust me, I understand. And you go into that mindset, but it is not a reflection, because I feel like you turn it on yourself. It is not a reflection of your worth and the lack of that. And I picked that up also in the strength card, where people could lust after you, see the energy that you hold that's actually healing, that's actually powerful, and then kind of perverse it, because that's where their mind is. That's not your energy. Um, so walking away looks like, okay, I accept it. I see it for what it was. It hurts, but that is of the past. That is not a part of my story or my journey that I need to carry, or this next journey. But it is something that might lead to self-reflection and lead to a place of like, a level up emotionally, where it's not that things don't bother you anymore, but you know how to deal with the things that bother you, so that it doesn't bother you anymore, or it doesn't weigh on you. It doesn't have power over you anymore. Because it's not about pretending that you're okay. I'm hearing it's not like spirit doesn't want you to perform that everything is okay and that you don't feel anything. It's not to say that, but it's the um emotional, the need to emotionally set it and forget it and walk away from it. Like, okay, that was a part of it, but that is not a part of my story. The only reason why I carry it is because I internalized it. I didn't understand why it happened to me. It hurt me. Let's see. Deepen your faith. It says divine pull, trust, and surrender. There's some Egyptian energy here, because you got the Isis message, and then this card, it has the pyramids, it has the statues. I can't even think of the name right now on the top of my head. But this could be, deep, but you're not seeing, it's like something about you. I don't know. Isis story may resonate with you. Like, if you, or maybe you already like are drawn to Isis, or AKA Aset, Mama Aset's energy. If you tap into her story, her energy, you might find something connected to you, about yourself. Because if we just look at it, just kind of gloss into the most popular story around her was her and her counterpart, and how she had to retrieve his pieces. He was stolen and his body was stolen and um, taken out into the Nile and then dismembered. And she had to find his pieces. She used her magic, her will, her and her sister, to find and gather his parts. Um, she couldn't retrieve everything, so magically she was able to lay with him before he crossed over to the afterlife, and conceived a child through that. So there's something with her energy that might resonate, where you might be someone that has the power to heal, has the power to put people back together. I feel like the powerful message in that is that you can't change or fix people. Their brokenness is not a reflection of you, and not to internalize that, but also find your power. She was able to conceive with a man's phallic that was missing. She had to magically create a phallic and impregnate herself, which is all spiritual, metaphysical. It's not literal, but you still have the power, even in brokenness or in someone else's brokenness. You still have the power to make things happen. So you have to remind yourself of that, however or whatever that looks like. But there is a divine truth that you are going to surrender to, if that makes sense. So your goddess baddie energy that exists within you, I feel like it might like some clues around that, taking the advice that already came through, but also on top of that, something with Isis, the goddess Isis energy. But yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, so that was the reading. If anyone else wants a Venus on the block read, let me know before I log off. Other than that, that is alive. I don't know what I'm going to do with the Venus on the blocks. I might do it every Friday after. We'll see. I don't know. But I appreciate those that did donate to the cause, giving Venus on the block a chance, giving her some play. But yeah, I enjoyed that. It was good live, good reading. I liked it. This one, yeah, we gonna come with the fire. We gonna keep it coming now, y'all. We just let life show itself and we'll figure it out, because everything is divinely inspired. So we'll see what the next one will be. I'll keep y'all posted. Okay. Yeah, so that was alive. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. And yeah. Make sure y'all like this video, okay? If you guys want to book a reading, y'all can find it. I'll leave it in the description. WildChildReadings.ninja for what am I trying to say? For voice recordings, it's going to be under the shop tab, and for reading sessions or phone sessions, excuse me, it's going to be under the booking tab of my website. So if you guys are interested in that, I would love to work with y'all. If you have any questions around my services, feel free to reach out and I'll be more than happy to help you. So y'all be blessed. Y'all take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your night, your day, your evening, wherever you guys are in the world. Happy Venus Day. And yeah, peace.